right, guys, here we're going to take a look at creating our digital portfolios. So all of you are going to have to create a portfolio for class, and that portfolio is going to allow you to basically showcase all of the stuff, all of the images, all of the designs, everything that you've created in the class the entire semester. So this is going to be a great way for you to kind of showcase that and allow you to, show someone who's maybe asking you, what have you done in this class? Maybe you're going to use it for an application to get into school. Maybe you're going to use it to maybe get a job somewhere. Maybe you just want to send it over to, maybe an aunt or an uncle or a grandma and grandpa that live out of state and they want to see something that you've done. This is a great way to do those sorts of things. So here we're taking a look at my portfolio example, and you can see it has, my name on the top and some of the skills and some of the things that I've done and learned in the class. Across the top here, you can see I have the ribbon, and on the ribbon or the banner, I have my pages, my different pages here. So I have one for my Illustrator work. You can see my cartoon and my package designs, my Photoshop work here, photo retouch, okay. Some selective colors, vehicle wraps, some apparel designs, things like that. And then I also have a screen printing page. So on my screen printing page, these are all of my t-shirt designs that I've done. So you can see how we're going to kind of showcase all of the stuff that we've created and put together design-wise for our entire semester. So let's get into how we're going to start that. It's all going to start with going to your Drive and creating a new folder. This is super important to create a folder because we want to make sure that all of the stuff for this site, for this digital portfolio, is going to be housed in one specific location. So, you could call this digital portfolio. You could call it, whatever you want it to be, your graphic communication site, screen printing site, something like that. So we're going to say create, and inside this folder here, I am now going to come inside, and you can see I'm in my folder here. I'm now going to go to New Again, More, and to Google Sites. When I do that, it's going to load a blank new Google site for me, okay? And this is exactly what we're going to need in order to create that digital portfolio. So here what we're going to do is we're going to have to start by kind of setting up the theme or the atmosphere for our site. To do that, we're going to come over to the right-hand side here where it says Themes. And in this drop-down, you guys can pick all of these different types of themes or how the look of your site is going to have, all right? From simple to maybe a little bit more architectural. That's kind of designy. So again, you can pick whatever you want. Maybe I'll pick Vision here, and then we can come through and we can change the colors. Maybe I'll go with that gray. You can always click on the bucket here and you can select a different color. Maybe you want to use like a teal or something like that. Again, it's totally up to you on the color that you're going to want to use because again, it's your personal site, okay? So now that I've picked the theme that I want, and I'm going to use kind of this background here of this table or desk or something like that, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start to give my main cover page, right? The place where everybody's going to come to, the home. And I'm going to give it a name. So maybe I'm going to call this Joe Stoll's portfolio, okay? And I can change this. You can change all of your size. You can center it. You can do all kinds of stuff, okay? Maybe I want to give that a little angle there. And here, so that's going to be the top of my page there. For the name of the site, this is super important because the name of the site is going to be in the URL that you're going to have created for you after you save or publish this site. So giving it a good name, a professional name, is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to do. Okay, so maybe give it, some sort of name like your name portfolio or your name site, something like that, class site, some sort of professional looking name that you're going to be proud of to show someone, especially if you're going to give this to someone for potentially a job application, or if you're going to use it to try and get into some sort of graphic design school or some sort of program in college. You're going to want to be able to have a nice title name to that, okay? So again, I'm just going to kind of leave it at that for right now. And then you can start to add things. So if you want to add something on the bottom underneath the banner logo or image, you can put maybe a picture of yourself, maybe some skills, something like that you've done and you've learned in the class. In order to do things like that, you're going to have to insert something. So I'm going to come over back to the right-hand side here, and I'm going to go to Insert. And you've got some things that you can insert now. These are preloaded, preloaded kind of fields, if you will, that you can enter in. So this one here would be for a picture. This one here could be for text that you would want. Maybe you don't want to do that. You can delete that section and you can come in maybe with something like this where you want 3 stacked pictures. Okay. You can always change the background of those, right? You've got all these different options to do for, once you put in some sort of field. Again, you can always just add a blank image. You can put your own custom text box. You can do all kinds of cool stuff by adding things in with this insert section. So once you get your cover kind of put together, now you're going to have to start putting in some pages. And these pages are going to be where you're going to be showcasing all of your work. So you can set these pages up however you'd like. If you want to split it into Photoshop type of or Photopea style images, and then you have one for screen printing, and then you have one for your vector drawings from Illustrator or Revit, things like that. Whatever you guys, however you want to do and set it up, that's totally up to you. But to insert those pages, what you're going to do is you're going to come over to the section where it says Pages, and right now we only have the home page. So I'm going to click on the plus button here, and it's going to give me a new page. So this one I'm just going to say Screen Printing. Okay, and I'm going to say Done, and it's going to give me a screen printing page. Now you can see it's already going to give me that page name as my title, okay, and you can see it kind of pops them up here along the top. So I have my home page, and now I have my screen printing page. So here's where you're going to be able to start adding all of your stuff, okay, and this is where you're going to be able to bring in all of your t-shirts, your t-shirt designs, and all that stuff that you've done for heat transfer and all that good stuff. So once you have that, again, I'm going to go to Insert here, and here's where you can start bringing in those images. So I'm going to use these preloaded layouts here, and I'm just going to bring this one in here, and I'm going to say this one is going to be my heat transfer, okay? And now I'm going to come into the little plus here, and I'm going to say Upload from Drive. Again, all of your stuff should be put into that folder that you created in the very beginning for your site, okay? So all of your images are going to have to be saved or exported out of Photopea, Photoshop, Revit, or Illustrator, and saved as a JPEG, okay? So you may have to export it as a JPEG, you may have to save it as a JPEG, depending on the program you're working in, but you have to have it as a JPEG. Once you have that as a JPEG, it needs to be moved into that site folder, okay? Everything for the site or your digital portfolio has to be in that one folder, okay? So once you get everything moved and saved into that folder, you can upload from there, saying from the drive. Now it's going to go out and say, okay, where do you want to go to? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to my folder here, and here is where I have all of my stuff, okay? So all of the images and the work that I've done for my portfolio are put in here, okay? So let's say my heat transfers, here it is, I saw it earlier. So I'm going to say Insert, and it's going to load that picture in there. Now you can kind of resize with these little handles here. So I'm going to pull this down and pull this down more and get that nice and open so I can see my whole t-shirt. And here in the caption area, so this is my heat transfer, that's the title. And in this is where I'm going to kind of put some sort of explanation of the project, okay? So if I move back over to the example, you can see here is my example for that heat transfer. I'm giving a little screenshot, if you will, with why I chose this as my heat transfer, okay? I explained the process, the heat transfer process itself. This process is a special, uses special paper and toner and applies that image to the shirt using heat and pressure, okay? And it transfers that image into the fibers of the t-shirt. And then I said I chose this picture of Dave Grohl because he's my favorite artist. He's the lead singer of the band Foo Fighters. And again, they're my favorite band. So you can see why I chose my image in the process and what I've learned while doing that shirt, okay? So again, that's kind of what I'm looking for these write-ups, explaining that skill, that procedure, whatever it was that you learned for that specific project. The next one here would be my t-shirt number 1. This was my first screen printed project, and you can see I've got my little digital mock-up that we've done in class. I've got over here. I've got a nice title. And again, I'm starting to explain what it is, what skills I learned. I used Illustrator or Revit to put this together. And then I used Photoshop or Photopea to do the mock-up. I had to delete the white background with the magic wand and change the black logo to white to show exactly the color that is going to be used with the ink on my shirt. So again, I'm explaining why I did it, how I did it, and some of the skills and programs that I used in order to make that happen. So this is kind of what I'm looking for, guys. Here's another one here, another multicolor screen printing project there. So again, when you guys are putting these together for your sites, that little write-up is going to be the key part to explaining to people what you've learned and explaining, the process in which you use to create that one piece. So you're going to get that one put together, and then you're going to then put in another one. Maybe you want to show, something like this where you can do a side-by-side comparison. Maybe you've got 2 different versions of a t-shirt. Maybe you've got one version where the shirt is black with red ink, and then you have another shirt version of that same logo where you're going to use a red shirt with black ink. You're just going to flip-flop the colors. Again, you can kind of talk about your decision making there and maybe the one that you finally went with for your total design. So that's pretty much it, guys, on loading and getting things brought into your portfolio. You're going to have multiple pages across the top. So again, one for Photoshop, one for Illustrator, one for screen printing. You can put all of your screen printing and heat transfer projects in one page. If you want to separate them out, you can do that. For your vinyl sticker, if you want to have your own page for that one. Again, however you guys want to lay out your site for your own digital personal portfolio, it's totally up to you, okay? Well, I hope that helps. Good luck in creating your portfolios.